Okay, so check this out. I'm holding two things. In one hand, I've got a full cup of coffee. Took me, maybe 2 minutes to make? And in the other hand, well, I've got this empty cup. This empty cup represents about 15 years of my life. I know, it's a weird comparison, but just stick with me for a second, because it perfectly explains one of the most powerful and honestly most misunderstood forces in all of finance.
And believe it or not, that is exactly how compounding works. See, one action is fast, it's immediate. You see the result right away, like making a cup of coffee. The other is all about the slow, almost invisible power of time. And in the world of money, time can do things that a huge salary or some brilliant talent just can't.
You know, the thing is, money isn't a machine. You can't just press a button and expect an instant result. It's way more like a tree. You plant a seed, you water it, and then you have to let it be. It grows slowly, quietly, but over the years, it can become something absolutely massive. It doesn't respond to force, it responds to time.
And that really brings us to the core idea here, a lesson that, I have to admit, I learned the hard way. Having a huge salary doesn't automatically mean you'll end up rich. Actually, more often than not, the race is won by the people who simply got started investing a little bit earlier.
And this isn't just some theory from a textbook. I mean, I have seen this play out in real life. I know people earning 50 lakh a year who are just drowning in loans. But then, I also know this one guy who just started a simple monthly investment, an SIP, when he was 24. And by the time he turned 40, he'd quietly built up a nest egg of over 1 crore. The math behind this is, well, it's both brutal and beautiful.
So to really see this in action, let me tell you a quick story. It's a tale of 3 friends, and it perfectly shows why time is your absolute greatest ally when it comes to investing. Let's call them Arjun, Bhavna, and Chirag. All right, so here are our players. First up is Arjun. He's the early bird. He starts a 10,000 rupee monthly investment right out of college at just 22. Then there's his friend Bhavna. She waits a bit and starts the exact same amount at age 30. And finally, we have Chirag. He starts the latest at 35, but he tries to catch up by investing double, 20,000 rupees every single month. So, who do you think comes out on top?
Okay, first let's just look at the raw cash each of them put in from their own pocket by the time they all hit 45. Arjun, our early starter, put in a total of 27 lakh. Chirag, who was investing double, put in 24 lakh, and Bhavna, 18 lakh. Now, looking at these numbers, you'd probably think Arjun and Chirag are going to end up in a pretty similar spot, right? Well, you would be very, very wrong.
And here it is. This is where the magic happens. Look at the final numbers. Arjun, the early bird, ends up with a staggering 1.1 crore. Chirag, even though he invested more money every month, only has 66 lakh, and Bhavna is at 53 lakh. Arjun has almost double what Chirag has. It's not even close, even though their total investments were pretty similar.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's actually incredibly simple. They all got the same returns from the market. They were investing in the same exact environment. The only variable that created this huge difference was time. Arjun just gave his money more years to do its thing. But how does this actually work? Like, what's really going on behind the scenes? Well, the best way I can describe it is to think of it like a roller coaster. You know, one of those old ones that takes forever to get going, but once it crests that first hill, the ride gets really, really exciting.
It happens in 3 stages. First, you've got the slow start. For the first 5, maybe even 10 years, it feels painfully flat. You're going to look at your account and think, is anything even happening? Then, stage 2. The curve starts to tilt. This is where your money starts to earn its own returns. But the real magic, the part that's so hard to grasp until you see it, is stage 3, the unstoppable climb. This is when your money starts working for you, and that growth curve just goes vertical.
You know, this isn't just about charts and stories for me. This is actually really personal. When I first started my career, I made the classic mistake. I told myself, okay, I'll start investing properly once I'm earning a little more. Well, guess what? My salary did grow, but my expenses, they grew even faster.
That delay, just 3 years of putting it off, cost me an estimated 35 lakh rupees in future wealth. Now, that's not money I actually lost from my bank account. It's money that I never even gave a chance to exist, all because I didn't give it enough time. And that's when it really clicked for me. I didn't lose the money. You can always earn more money. I lost time. And time is the one thing you can never, ever get back. And that loss is so much worse.
So look, if you're listening to this and you're 23, 24, somewhere in your early 20s,
I'm talking directly to you right now. You have an incredible, almost unfair advantage. You have the one thing that matters more than anything else, a long, long runway of time ahead of you. You might not feel rich right now, but trust me, you are rich in time.
And you know, there's another huge benefit here that we don't talk about enough: the emotional payoff. The market loves patience. When you start early, you can afford to be calm. If the market takes a dive, it's not a big deal. You've got decades to recover. You can literally sit back and sip chai while everyone else is freaking out. But the late starters, they don't have that luxury. They're forced to chase crazy high returns, take on way more risk, and they panic at the first sign of trouble.
So what's the action plan? What do you do with all this? It's dead simple. Do not fall into the trap of waiting to learn everything, because you never will. Don't wait around for the perfect mutual fund to come along, because it doesn't exist. The single most important thing you can do is just start. Even a small amount, like 5,000 rupees a month, is a seed. Plant it now.
Think about it this way. Over your career, you're going to get better at your job. Your skills will improve, your income is probably going to rise, you'll become a smarter, more experienced person. But what's the one thing that will never, ever come back?
The answer is time. Your talent can grow, for sure, but only time can compound. And that, right there, is your real edge. Thanks for tuning in.